You make me sick. God, you make me sick, all you hypocritical sentimentalists. Huh? You follow me, you spout what I teach you. You profit by it. But you haven't the grace to admit yourself what you're doing. Huh? That's in your nature, I suppose, and that's my chief weapon, but God, I get tired of it. Huh? It's an act I've had to put on all my life for mean little mediocrities like you. But that's the price I've had to pay. And I have no illusions about paying the price or the purchase. I want power, Peter. I've always said that clearly and openly. It's not my fault if you couldn't hear me. You could, of course, but you didn't want to. I have always said that I intended to rule like my spiritual predecessors, but I'm luckier than they were because I inherited the fruit of their efforts, and I shall be the one who will see the great dream made real. Oh, I shall rule, Peter. I shall rule you, and I shall rule the world. It's only a matter of discovering the lever. And that's the soul, Peter, the soul. If you can learn to rule one man's soul, you can get all of mankind. It's the soul, Peter. It's not whips, fire, swords. It's not guns. And that's why the Caesars and the Napoleons, they were fools. They didn't last, but we shall. If you can get your fingers on his soul, the man is yours. And you won't need a whip. He'll bring you one and he will ask to be whipped. Turn him against himself. Make him feel small, make him feel guilty. Kill his aspirations and his integrity. Kill integrity with internal corruption. Tell man that he must live for others. Tell man that altruism is the ideal. And you know what? Not a single one of them has ever achieved it, and not a single one of them ever will. Huh? But you know all this. You've seen me practicing it for 10 years. You've seen it practiced all around the world. Why are you disgusted? Huh? You, Peter, have no right to sit there and stare at me with the virtuous superiority of being shocked. You're in on it. You've taken your share. You've got to go along. You're afraid. You're afraid of where it's leading. Well, I'm not, and I'll tell you. The world of the future, the world that I want. A world of obedience and of unity. A world where the thought of each man will not be his own, but will be an attempt to guess the thought in the brain of his neighbour, who will have no thought of his own, but an attempt to guess the thought of the next neighbour, who will have no thought of his own, and so on around the globe. All must agree with all. All must serve all. That's it. All must serve all. A world where men will not work for so innocent an incentive as money, but for that headless monster, prestige, for the approval of their fellows, for their good opinion, but the opinion of those who will be allowed to hold no opinion. It'll be like an octopus, all tentacles and no brain. A world with its motor cut off and a single heart pumped by hand. My hand. And the hands of a few, of very few other men like me. Men who know what makes you tick. You, the great, wonderful average. You who have not risen in fury when we have called you the average, the little, the common. You who have liked and accepted those names. But you will sit enthroned. You will sit enshrined. You, the little people, you will become the absolute, the undisputed, the unlimited. You will become God, prophet, and king combined.